So I saw a video the other day by the one and only Leonidas, and it really resonated with me. It was titled, How I Keep Getting Bigger, and a lot of the questions that I get asked, he answered, and so I wanted to sort of, respond or go into that today.
Minuscule PRs add up, whether it be in a performance context or lean muscle tissue.
And it's true that minuscule PRs absolutely do add up over time, and you want to be fighting for those 1-rep PRs, those plus ones, as Steve Shaw says. Those small victories, they really do make or break your progressions. And once you're advanced, things are going to slow down. Things are going to be, 5%, 10% strength on a lift in a year, a handful of reps. I mean, if you put on 6 reps on a lift in a year, that's pretty good going if you are an advanced natural lifter. 6 reps in a year, that's 1 rep every 2 months. So some months might go by where you don't even add a full rep, right? Like maybe you think it's slightly easier, it's half an RPE easier, but tracking and measuring progress becomes more difficult, but that also makes it that much more important to actually track your progress. And you want to have a stable of staple exercises. So exercises that agree with your joints, you can do consistently, seem to provide the best results in terms of muscularity, and you can just hammer those and get better at those over time. I think sometimes when you're switching too much or you get distracted by other things, this can impact your long-term progress. There's nothing wrong with variety, but you want to find that sweet spot between not enough and too much.
In total, it's about 13 years. And what makes me different compared to others is that these were not half-assed years. As you know, as I've documented, as I've proven, I always give it my all, I always set higher goals, and I never settle. Each year, there's something improving.
And consistency is huge. It's tremendous, but this is the lowest level, just showing up, just getting into the gym. That is the very start of what consistency means. It is working hard every single time, knowing what you did last time and what you want to do this time and what you're hopefully going to be able to do in the future. That is consistency. It's not just showing up and be like, well, I'm here, like, where are the gains? You got to fight for them. And consistency also means consistently learning and evolving and adapting and getting better over time. If you have the same exact thoughts on training today as you did 5 years ago or even just 1 year ago, you messed up. You messed up.
And of course, there's never any excuses regarding this natural limit, which, as I'm starting to see now, is a total scam.
Scam is a pretty strong word. We better get CoffeeZilla up in this case, expose this. But I am inclined to agree. Most people who I see hit plateaus, particularly within the first decade of training, it is a self-imposed plateau. It could be effort, it could be exercise selection, it could be focusing on other things. If you take a year off to focus on weightlifting, then a year off to focus on powerlifting, then a year off to focus on calisthenics, then a year off to focus on your newborn child, it's not a limit, okay? It's your choices. Gains, offspring. Gains, offspring. I think the choice is clear.
I know what I have to do, but I don't know if I have the strength to do it.
And I'll do a whole video debunking the natural limit. It's something I've had planned for a long time. Most of the time, I simply see it as an excuse. There are very, very few people who I've talked to or observed or interacted with who I would agree are at a limit. And even then, usually it is a limit of what they're willing to do and sacrifice for it, rather than some kind of actual physiological limit. It's psychological.
So put this in perspective. 2020 till now, I've done 3 bulks, each time reaching higher highs.
So I actually found this super interesting because I also, since 2020, have done 3 bulks. So basically, every year, a bulk and then a cut, roughly speaking. So in August 2020, I hit 94.5 kilos or 208 pounds. December 2021, I went up to 98.7 kilos or 217 pounds. And then in October 2022, I hit 101.7 kilos or 224 pounds. And all seem to be roughly the same condition. And between each bulk, there was a cut. And this is something that I repeatedly see in the best natural lifters who seem to be making the best progress. It is possible to maintain. Look at natural hypertrophy. He's made excellent progress without really fluctuating in weight. So it is possible. But keep in mind, he started probably closer to 20% body fat, going down to maybe closer to 15%. If you are like 13%, 12%, below 10%, main gaining just will not work very well for the vast majority of natural lifters. And often the body fat percentage that you want to be, either in terms of how you look or how you feel even, won't be the best possible body fat percentage for making those sweet ass gains.
I sacrificed my aesthetics. Even though I had a moon face, my muscle definition was blurry, I did what I had to do to gain size. I was not afraid of bulking.
And yeah, I had to endure those comments. People are like, aren't you supposed to be in the fitness industry? Or like, wear your abs. Do some cardio, loser. Okay, I actually never got that last one. It's funny how they don't say that, but it's usually like, fat ass. Where's your jawline? And the abs are still there. The striations are still there. The muscles are still there under the surface. They're just being constructed. They're being built. This is body building, not body shrinking. And so I think accepting some fat gain, I mean, don't go up to like 25 or 30% body fat, but being able to relax away from the abs and let those go for at least certain parts of the year, I think is extremely beneficial.
When I do a lean bulk or a giga bulk, every time it ends up being worth it when I cut back down. And that's essentially what you're seeing. Do you think I'm bigger now than a couple months ago? No. Each passing month, I'm getting progressively smaller. Yet, the muscle definition is revealing what was already built.
Yeah, I get these comments now that I'm getting a little bit leaner. There's more definition, there's more separation, there's more striations, vascularity, etc. And so people are like, man, did you hop on something? Or, wow, you're getting way bigger. No, I'm smaller. You know, the inches, the measurements, like the arms are actually shrinking in terms of an absolute size. And I don't think there's any muscle loss, but it could happen. It's just that you look more impressive because you can see all those details.
Since 2020, I'm a fitness influencer. That's been a single workout where I didn't film something. Most of the time, it's the entire session.
Yeah, I can relate to this a lot. I film everything or almost everything. And this is why I completely disagree when commercial gyms are like, don't film anything. I think filming yourself is extremely valuable and very useful. I try to get videos of all my clients, not every single set, but at least the main movements, the main working sets, etc. Just because that is essential information. And if you coach yourself, that's also essential. You need to be able to see how am I moving. You need to be able to assess RPE or RAR objectively, which is not easy to do during the set. Your technique. I can't tell you how many times I've seen someone squat and they were like, yeah, my squat's great. And I see the video and it's just...
Was it shocking that a 405 bencher fucking jacked?
So strength and size are going to be very, very correlated, particularly for reps, and especially if you are not using super optimized technique or you don't have amazing leverages for a given lift. So Alex benches 405, I've bench pressed 250, but if you look at the difference in the thickness of the chest, I think it's very, very clear how he bench presses so much more, right? He just has more mass in the prime movers of that lift. Like it's just that simple. And then if you look at my strengths, I would say biceps and triceps, my strength reflects that. Like it's pretty simple overall. I have a weak chest and a weak bench. Amazing. I have weak lats, and I'm also not that good at weighted pull-ups. They tend to go hand in hand. And so a lot of weakness correction is just prioritizing the lifts that you are weakest at and bringing those up. Now, it's not that simple. I'll actually do a whole book on weakness correction, but that's a pretty good starting point for most people.
Constantly learn and keep yourself accountable. And then year after year, you get a bit better, a bit better, a bit better, a bit better. It's that simple. I don't have any next level tips to share. I'm just a product of consistency. And that's what separates the greats from the posers.
So a lot of people are looking for some kind of trick or technique or hack or special system. It's just that long-term iterative process of finding what works for you, gradually and slowly tweaking that over time, and then just putting in the time.
And don't you fucking dare come in my comment section and tell me that I'm some genetic elite. Oh, your last name is Leonidas. You're descended from a Greek king. It must be that. That's the fucking reason.
Yeah, I can't tell you how many times I get the genetics comment now. A year ago, I didn't get it that much. 2 years ago, I barely got it at all. Have my genetics improved, right? Are my genetics really, cream of the crop, top of the barrel, 99.99%? No. I have seen people like that, where they don't actually learn, they're actually just straight up inconsistent, they don't even put that much effort in, and that they see excellent progress. I'm not that guy. And I would say it's more the learning, the knowledge, the curiosity, the effort, the consistency that determine your long-term progress. Yes, genetics are important, but sometimes that's all people see. They see that end result, and they're just like, oh, genetics. Oh, muscle insertions.
It's the awakening of what was already inside of you. Nah, mother. We all have this inside.
And if you look at his progress, or you look at Natural Hypertrophy's progress, or Bald Omni-Man, or myself, or any of the other guys who are making impressive, visible gains naturally, it's not a surprise, because you see it. You see it all. You see the hard work. You see the consistency. You see the curiosity, the knowledge, the learning. The process is there for you to see. There's no reason.
Oh, dude, it drives me nuts. There's no reason. There's no reason. Really? No reason?
You can't emulate that if you really want to.
And the arm, same thing. I learned about biomechanics. I stopped listening to powerlifters so much on how to optimally train them, and they freaking exploded.
And success leaves clues, and these clues are not hard to find because we are literally telling you. We are showing you exactly what we do, and we make videos, informative content, explaining how we are making progress. Okay, so if someone is like, man, I don't know how these guys they're all making progress and I'm not. We are telling you. We are showing you exactly how we are making progress, okay? So that is our jobs. That is our job, to show you how to get better results. And so the fact that we are getting results, if you find that surprising, I don't know what to say. And I've also gotten DMs or seen comments from people who are clearly putting fitness YouTubers or influencers or content creators on a pedestal. They're like, these people are doing this, but I could never do that. You probably can. There's probably a pretty decent chance that you can if you keep learning and you keep working hard. Those two things are going to be what gets the job done. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten DMs from someone who's like, man, do you think this guy is still natural? Yeah, I do. Because I can not only see his progress, but his process. And it's been great seeing both, and I think he looks fantastic, phenomenal, and I'm excited and interested to see what he's going to look like on stage. Alright, that was all for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Definitely check out my books if you are interested in programming knowledge and the finer details in how to make progress and get those gains. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.